I've made a few purchases. I've backed some things on Kickstarter. I've backed some things on Indiegogo. It's kind of an eclectic mix, and there's a few things that I might still be waiting on, like my Planet Computers Astro Slide. But while we wait for that, let's go over what I've received over the last year. Starting with the Thumbie. Now, let's zoom in a little bit on that. Now, LGR did a video on this previously, so I'm not going to do a super in-depth review. If we can get the box off. There we go. This is made by Tiny Circuits, and it's a little tiny Game Boy size, Game Boy shaped little thing. It's even smaller than my thumb, so they sell them for about $29 on Tiny Circuits. There'll be a link in the description. But let's go ahead and turn this on. Oh, there we go. Let's see, there's several games there. Annelid, Sauron, Space Debris, Thumbjin, Tiny Blocks. So this is a Tetris-like thing. It is really difficult to play. There we go. You get the hang of it. There we go. Clear to row. Awesome. Wouldn't this make a great gift for your grandparents, huh? But yeah. That is the Thumbie. There we go. The next thing I received is called One Deck. And these are neat. This is actually several different games in one. It's a deck of playing cards, but you can set up different games. So you got dominoes, checkers, chess, dice, a couple other games as well. I think there's backgammon and a bunch of others. So as you can see, it's a deck of playing cards. You've got a king. This is the king for the chess piece and black for checkers. And see on here we've got on the jack we've got the rook, and this is the dominoes. It's actually pretty ingenious. I just love it. I've always had an affinity for some of the multiple in one type of games where you basically have a small little kit and you can carry a bunch of different games with, checkers, chess, that type of thing. But here's a 6. 6, 5, 4. There's a 3. I forget what that goes to. There is a card in here. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, the dice on some of them. And what you do is, for the dice, you stack the cards together and then shuffle them, and then when you roll, you just pull off the top of the deck. But there's cards in here that show you how to, set up the game boards, and the card backs are basically one color, so you can set up, a game board just with playing cards. And there's how you set up the checkers, backgammon with the dice. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but some blank ones if you need to do new cards. But yeah, really neat. And I bought 2 decks. And there's a reason why I bought 2 decks. If you ever wanted to play, there's only one game that I know of. There might be a couple of games, but there's only one game that I know of that you need 2 decks of cards to play, and that's Pinochle. And so if you have 2 decks of cards, 2 decks of playing cards, you could play Pinochle with these cards. So, or with any playing cards. But yeah, that's that one deck. It's really neat. It's sold by Cartesian Cards. They are out of England. But a deck of these costs $16. It's a little expensive, but considering all the games that you get with a deck of cards, and how ubiquitous of a gift that this might be, young or old or whoever, it's a really neat idea. And of course I've got first edition on mine here because I was one of the original backers. But yeah, it's a fascinating idea. And in this I've got a ton of games I could play. Now, the only thing I would change is I would like to be able to buy a version that's waterproof so that I can take it on camping trips. So if you're stuck in a tent and it's raining outside, you could set the cards up and play some games. I think that would just be awesome. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's one deck. And as far as any of the backed items that I've done this last year, those are the only 2 that ever came in. I'm still waiting on my Commodore keycaps, although at the time of this recording, it's locked. And if I get them, by the time this video comes out, I'll add that segment in here. But I'm also waiting for my Astro Slide, but that's a whole separate video. And I'm also waiting for a Commodore PC case that I backed as well. And still waiting for that, but that's also going to be a whole separate video. So, to fill things in a little bit, I picked this up at our favorite place, GameStop. For $35 on clearance. You can still get them at Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. If you can't find them at your local GameStop, you can pick this up. But this is a Nintendo Game & Watch Legend of Zelda theme. And of course it's got to be green. Now, for some reason, these weren't terribly popular. I'm sure they sold a fair few of them, but this is a little stand. You can pop this out and set it up so that it's so that it displays. Let me get this out of the wrapper here. USB-C charging, power button on the side. Nothing else truly spectacular about it. Different Legend of Zeldas here. It's got the original Zelda, the Adventures of Link. And then it's got this Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening in the Game Boy monochrome version. And then it's got the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. And there's a couple of different ones here. That's what that is. I'm a little disappointed with the amount of memory that you could put in here. You could probably put the Super NES version of Legend of Zelda on here as well. I really enjoyed that one as well. I really enjoyed that too, or some Game Boy ones. I would have liked to have more on this. Of course, the timer is just a clock. But yeah, really neat stuff. If you can get one, pick one up at GameStop. They were on clearance for $35, like I said. If you can't pick one up at GameStop, they run about $45. And they're still available. Inside here is just a little charging cable for it. Those are all the things that I've gotten in the last, I'd say, year. All the neat things, the neat little toys that I've gotten. Maybe one of them will give you an idea. If I get anything else nifty before this video comes out, we'll be sure to add a segment for it. For now, we'll see you in the next one.